I think. Let's see if I can get this going. Am I coming online? Hello, hello. Gotta love the internet. Hello, hello. Am I here? Can I get a fix? Okay, so you early birds. Early birds. I love you, early birds. I need help with the tech, obviously, okay? I'm a sort of semi-retired high school teacher, and I need help with the tech. I'm supposed to be on retirement. I'm not supposed to be teaching, but there's this urgent problem that I have a solution for. And so I had to come back into the classroom and start running these workshops, okay? So this is the MAGA Exit Countdown. This is Friday's deep dive into the training center because we only have 14 weeks. Actually, this is day 94. We are 13 weeks on Sunday. So it's almost, we're in it. It's going. The momentum is already starting. I know this because the search terms are rising. There are a growing number of people in the MAGA movement that are feeling uncomfortable. They're not exactly happy with what is happening the way that they were promised. Those promises are being broken. That trust has been slashed by the things that he's doing every day, and it's eating at people's hearts and souls, according to the research and the search terms. I'm not making this up, okay? So I'm here because, like I said, I'm a high school teacher. I teach English, I teach world history. So those 2 points mixed here together in my training center is what this is, okay? This is week number 14. As I said, we've been in this week for a couple of, obviously, this is day 5, this is Friday. It's been a whole week. The list. The power of making a list is documented in scientific study of physical performance and metrics like pro sports. That's what we're doing. So this is the coach's corner. This is the deep dive into how to build up that endurance, how to really flex those muscles. And the muscle that I'm talking about is your brain, okay? The brain. This is the muscle today. So, okay. I made a cute chart. I want to see if everybody can see my chart before I start talking about it. Like I said, let me move this in. It's all about the chart. This isn't about me, okay? Here's why. We need to start talking about your perspective and art. I'm going to pick this up and bring it in. Okay, here's why. In perspective, in art class, you know when you go from 2D and being very flat and surface level, compared to when they add in a focal point, they call this, and you get this dimension, they call it 3D. And then what happens if you layer up time and the universe and you make it even a bigger perspective? And you see how your perspective is going from very little to wider and bigger, right? And that takes thinking. That takes time. Your brain has to think. All right. Your brain has to think. And with that comes then this second point of view. Here where I'm coming down on the point of view. In the same way, your point of view can be very surface level. Very surface level. Just you and your opinion. Just you and your opinion. That's it. What do you think? That's it. Or does it go to a deeper decision making? Is it a pro or a con? Yes, I'm for something, or no, I'm against it. You've added a little bit more here, depth. But that's still just you. What happens when you start adding in other sources of information? And you start adding in other shareholders and other people into the equation? And what happens when you start looking at the cause and the effect, and you really break down the what happened first, and then what happened second, and then what happened third, to draw conclusions that are solid, rather than just being up here reacting, right? And that really, when you're coming down here into the really nitty gritty, you get to this hypothesis idea, and you get to the, hey, what if I did this? And what if I did that? And how could this be turned around? And what kind of changes could we do to make something better? That's when you get deeper here into the thinking, which is what we're doing right here in the training center, right? So that's the charts. This is my graphic idea of trying to explain your thinking going from small to large and from shallow to deep. Because the next task today is, yes, the handy groovy ethics chart. Let me see if I can get this set up and hang out better. Yeah, you get the idea. You were here Tuesday night. You saw this without it being all drawn all over. I really need tech help, people. Yes, I really need tech help. So I'm not stopping though. I am on a mission. I'm a woman on a mission. This is not going to stop me. Nothing is going to stop me. This is what I'm talking about. This is the endurance that you have to get going. You have to be committed. You have to say, I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I'm the only person that can do it. That's better. I'm the only person that can do this. And I know it. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, I have to say. Now, let me back it up some more here. I'm by myself. I need help. I live up in the jungle. Wait, I got some comments coming in. Hello, people. Someone's saying they hate Trump. Okay, we have to talk with the people who used to like him, and maybe they still do, but they're starting to have some anxiety. Okay, they're starting to search for how to get out. And I love Rich Stolas, the guy who started the Leaving MAGA movement. I'm trying to help him with the academics that people need. There was a piece of reading skills that people just didn't catch in school. And it's not your fault. I know it's not your fault. I was a school teacher. I was there. And I'm the one that realized it's reading standard 5 and reading standard 6 and 8. So that's why we're here. That's what this is. Okay, so we started this with a simple chart. Let me show you. You see the simple chart. You put a list here of the items that we're talking about, and then you line up the different people that you want to talk about so that you can analyze the situation in front of you. Okay, so I have here, we're talking about morals and values and ethics in business. Okay, let me pull this in just a little. See where I'm at a little bit. Talking about ethics in business and how even corporations have a responsibility to both the shareholders that own the company, but they also have an obligation to the community and the world that they live in. Otherwise, they're just going to take over everything and destroy it, frankly. So the United States used to have regulations that were agreed to by both parties, and the president has come in and eliminated a lot of them. So those watchdog groups and the protection agencies that look out for the good of the people have been cut. They were removed. Doge closed them. And remember the big chainsaw cutting through everything. But now what's happening is that we're realizing that we kind of needed those activities. Those watchdog agencies help keep everybody safe. And that's some of the things we're going to talk about. In fact, I'm going to jump just here into the middle of my chart. So check Tuesday night's training if you weren't here for the watch party, because that explains more of this chart. And here, talking about due process and laws. Because without those watchdog agencies in place, which they're not now, we're starting to have food parasites. And I'm guessing you heard about the poopy problem with the lettuce, and that people are having real problems because our food in the USDA may or may not be working so well. They've gotten cut. In the same way, hello, we have measles. Did you know that we have more measles today than they had back in the 1960s when it was like declared a huge national emergency? Because that's when they started immunizations. We've got to talk about this. Another one here, in the community environment problem, based on the corporations and based on the watchdogs that have been let go, the forest fires that are happening up in Minnesota, no surprise up in Minnesota, because the Forest Service was cut. They didn't do the maintenance. They haven't been working on the trails. And so guess what? It's starting to burn. And how much of that's going to start going in more parts of the world or the country? And I live out here in Puerto Rico. We're sitting ready for hurricane season. I know FEMA's a mess. I know our Forest Service is a mess. And we're sitting here going, here come the storms. What's going to happen? So my chart here is to break these items down. And I could go into great detail about all of these, but I really just want you to see the process, okay? I'm not preaching at people. I'm not demanding that you think a certain way. I'm not. I'm opening up your eyes, and I'm teaching academic skills in a reading class because it's something that is important for you to know how to do. Everybody needs to know how to do it. And it's not your fault. There's no shame. No shame. Step up and decide you're going to have to figure this out. Because if you keep running on autopilot and you keep wearing the crazy hat that says MAGA on it, you're one of them and you're not thinking for yourself. And so I know identity is a really big piece of this. Trust me, I know. I've taught in the schools and in the situations with people that are struggling. And it is so difficult to say, hey, what are you doing? And what are they doing? And taking it like you're a football coach in the locker room. In fact, this week's video that just dropped this morning is the coach's playbook. And he's talking about the greatest coaches with Michael Jordan and with Muhammad Ali, and how they looked at the film and looked at their mistakes in order to be able to catch themselves and improve themselves. And how critical that skill is as a human being, our own ability to check ourselves, and then our own ability to go get help from someone who knows more than you do. And it's not a ego check. It's a humble check of saying, we're in it together. I want to help you. I'm here to teach. I'm getting over all my own crazy hurdles because I have to teach this. So I made hats because I know hats are a thing. I made hats. And I'm working on all of the identity pieces of art and all of the strategies that I know work. Let me see if I can make sure I can see myself. Is it gonna work? Let me check my cameras. And let me check my notes again. Anybody talking to me? A couple people. Hello, people talking to me, by the way. Okay. Am I here? Yes. All right. Let me get to the wrap up, because the scorecard, look for the notes in here, ask me questions, and you're keeping score. It's your notes, it's your notebook. This is your training center. And I am the resources to help you figure this out. That's all it is, helping people figure it out. And of course, I'm looking for teachers who understand what I'm talking about with Reading Standard 5 and Reading Standard 6 and 8. 5 and 6 are the ones that every student hates. I know every student hates 5 and 6. I know they do. That's why I'm just like, let's do it. We got to it's cause and effect. It's the structure of things and figurative language and the propaganda, all the propaganda, which is what other episodes have been about in my series here. This is now approaching 13 weeks, day 94. And I have a list of questions if you want to check those out on my resource websites here. Let me go with this one here on my walkout. All right, resources, leavingmagaguide.com, because I am a guide. I am a pathfinder. I am a pioneer. I've done this my whole life. That's how I think I ended up living out here in Puerto Rico. And I'm getting the immigrant experience, and it's not easy. It's really not easy. And that's also part of why I'm the one that's stepping up and saying, hey, hello, white people. It's not easy being an immigrant. Stop. Let's stop that stuff. That's not America. I believe our respect and truth are the values of the American dream. Respect and truth. Those are the values of my American dream and our U.S. American dream. Politics in the U.S. American dream. Respect and truth. Those two have to come first. They have to come first, and you have to put it forward. So I'm putting it forward, asking the MAGA people, hello, MAGA family. I've lost you. Hello, MAGA family. Can we talk? Come on, let's talk. Okay? The 95 questions are over on the Wayfinding Station. That's another one of my resources. That one's focused for the people who are feeling politically homeless, people that don't really feel like they're MAGA Republicans. They really don't want to be a Democrat, and they really don't know where they're going. I understand. I feel the same way. In fact, the Democratic Party is having this same sort of issue. They're being a little more low-key about it. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm honest, okay? Honest. The Democratic Party is fighting also. Yeah, because the big money is a problem. Money in politics is the problem. And ethics is the problem. Because if you're happy, are you happy making money from the military dropping the bombs in Iran? That's a really brutal question to ask, and I'm asking it. And trust me, my mom wasn't happy when I asked her that question, and my friends aren't happy when I ask them that question. But one of my friends said, you know what, I sold my stock. I'm not making money like that. I am not making money like that. And I'm like, all right, you're my sister. That's two of us. Let's go. Because boycotting is a thing. And boycotting is a thing. We talked about this the other day. And it's up to us to stick together for the good of everybody. Everybody. So the good of everybody. This is the faith episode, and I'm going to wrap this one up. It started here, the faith and the ethics from Martin Luther and those 95 theses. So it's the endurance. Write those 95 questions. If you get to the end of the 95 questions, you're asking President Trump, and you're asking your MAGA leaders, your MAGA governor, your MAGA mayor, the school board, ask those people on the school board about literacy and about education and about the real honest truth about it. Because education, actually, is my next statement next week. That's where we're going. So faith, ethics, and what will you stand up for? That's my question. That's it. So at the end here, we've got my eyes this week. Everybody, take notes. Take notes. Look at the president speaking himself. Look at what he says himself, how he treats people, how he treats his cabinet, his best friends, and what he's doing to his own cabinet. Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, back and forth. He's playing the two of them like they're frickin' frack. Meanwhile, Jared's getting all the good stuff. Don, Eric, they're all bringing it up. Yeah. So you track it. You keep the score. Okay? That's where I'm at. My eyes this week, we've got voting happening, primaries in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I love you people in Minnesota. Take care of that fire that's out there. Be careful, okay? Eyes are on the Senate because they did not, I don't think they're putting together that attorney general because of that lawlessness and the due process of law. So thank you, Senator Cornyn, and thank you, Senator Tillis, because Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, you guys are rising on my radar. I see you. I see you. In fact, I went to school in Alabama. War Eagle. War Eagle. Love it. Okay, what are you going to stand up for? I'm standing up for the press. And this is Meet the Press. I'm here all the time. Kirsten Peck, Joy West Press, actually. That's me. Here's the book. Go get the book. It's $10. Here's the book. $10. That's it. That's it. All right. You guys have a great day. Peace out. Have a wonderful Friday afternoon. I'm back here Sunday morning where we're going to kick off week 13. All right. Countdown is on. The MAGA exit. Love you. Bye.